He called me mom. I didn't say anything, but I did smile. I've raised him for almost 7 years, so sometimes I feel like his mother, even though I know our bond isn't biological. His father drilled into his head that he was only allowed to call me by my name or daddy's friend as a child. My husband became furious, and once my stepson went up to his room to read his new books, he began to yell at me. Quotes include, "You're not his mom. How could you ever be his mom? How dare you let him call you mom? And you don't have any children. He's mine, not your son." To defend myself, I only replied that I was glad my stepson saw me as a maternal figure. My husband blew up and told me if my wife came back from the dead I would divorce you in an instant for her. Act so high and mighty because you help my son with homework sometimes or build stupid plastic figurines. No matter how many bedtime stories you read him, you are not and will never be his mother. It hurt my feelings. My husband and I are sleeping in separate rooms, and I feel awful. I just don't know how to respond. I love my stepson, and I love my husband, but right now I feel utterly devalued and replaceable. I just needed to get my feelings somewhere I know he won't find it. I went up to my stepson's room and apologized for the shouting. He told me his dad did the shouting, not me, and asked me if it was his fault. I told him his dad was insecure because we get along, and it was not and will never be his fault. I hope he knows that he isn't to blame in the slightest. Update: after 3 months, I thought about everything for a long time, replaying the argument in my head over and over again. My husband's words echoed in my mind, and no matter how much I wanted to move past them, I couldn't. It hurt too deeply. He made it clear where I stood in his life, and as much as I loved him and my stepson, I couldn't continue like this. The situation had become too toxic. I felt devalued, like I was just someone filling a role. I didn't want to be that person anymore. I deserved more than being treated like I was replaceable, like my bond with my stepson didn't matter. So, I left. I packed my things and walked out of the house, and I haven't looked back since. Since I've been gone, my stepson keeps calling me. He's confused and upset, and I feel so guilty. He doesn't understand why I had to leave, and that breaks my heart. But I couldn't stay in a situation where I was constantly being pushed aside. I left for me. My husband, on the other hand, is begging me to come back. He keeps calling and texting, saying no one is taking care of our stepson. He wants me to come home, but it's not because he loves me or because he sees me as his partner, it's because he needs me to fill the gaps, to keep things running smoothly. He doesn't see me as an equal, and that's why I've made the hardest decision of my life. I'm filing for divorce. It wasn't easy, and it hurts more than I can put into words, but I can't keep living like this. I need to start living for myself.